I think for me, social work, it speaks to social justice. It speaks to providing services and advocating, providing a voice for people or helping people who are otherwise disadvantaged or marginalized to have a voice around their lives, their decisions, and to try and improve society, I think, for people at large.
I enjoy working rurally. I enjoy the travel, getting to know my colleagues better when we spend long hours in the vehicle, to getting to see different parts of Alberta, and every day seems to be a new day, taking on new challenges, new learning opportunities for myself, and I really think that is an advantage and an opportunity that I am thankful for. I work with the First Nations communities that are delivering their own child welfare programs on the reserve. Causes me to go on a lot of journeys up north and down south, a lot of rural roads, some crazy driving conditions, and some unique opportunities to see Alberta, actually. You also get to see a lot of the challenges they have out there in northern Alberta. For example, some of the communities, it's a fly-in remote community, and so they don't always have access. Sometimes they don't have the resources that we have in larger centers, so it requires you to be a lot more creative with the work you're doing with families.
Well, in terms of geography, northern Alberta, I spent 12 years working in the Peace River area, and so that included sort of Fairview, High Level, High Prairie, sort of that northwestern part of Alberta. And for the past 4 years, I had an opportunity to work in the northeastern part of Alberta, so St. Paul, Bonnyville, Jasper, Hinton, although that doesn't seem northeast, Fort McMurray, and had a chance to work really closely for a period of about a year with both social workers in Fort McMurray and the community at large as they sort of dealt with the immediate and the after effects of the forest fire. And then for the past year, I've worked as in more of a provincial role, so supporting social workers within Alberta Health Services across the province in their social work practice. One of the roles of social work is to provide supportive counseling, and for some social workers to provide more intensive focused therapy. And I think the things that we do or know about as social work, community engagement, community capacity building, crisis intervention, system navigation, all of those things were hugely helpful during the fires. As an individual, I was one of many social workers and who responded and have worked really hard to support that community.
My dad was a pastor, actually, and maybe that was part of the reason I had that connection. My father used to go to all the, what they call townships, where people were segregated in different communities. And he was one of the rare people that had that kind of contact with a whole range of different cultures. Sometimes on a very threatening kind of level, you know, because people often didn't accept what he did in those communities. Going to meet people in rural areas who are of a different culture doesn't faze me at all. It reminds me very much of my dad, who went to different communities where there were different cultures, African cultures. But for me it was, wow, this is like South Africa again. You know, I can just do this thing again.
I've always wanted to be in small towns, and I've never wanted to. I love working and living in Taber. There are some challenges. I know a lot of people, so there's a lot of potential for dual relationships, a lot of potential for boundary crossing. But with both of those, there's also rewards too. It's people who know me are more comfortable to work with me because they know who I am and what I'm about. There's some innate trust when you know somebody from a small town. Just the other day, I had a client who I needed to refer to other services, my client's father actually, and quite resistant, but because we went to high school together, And he trusts me. He says, Denise, if you think it's a good thing, then I'll give it a shot. So just having that relationship already was helpful to him. It was always something that I knew I wanted to do. My high school yearbook from W.R. Myers in Tabor says that I want to be a counselor and fix kids' lives. And social work was the way to get there. You're going to have tremendous burdens, and it's a heavy load to carry sometimes when you're sharing in people's misery and you're there for their worst days of their lives. That's a burden. But it's an honor to me to be able to share that with people. And if I can help them through it, it's what I'm meant to do. Another way that I cope with my small town stress is as I join fellow social workers in Tabor, and we get together and we just get to enjoy each other's company. There's nothing like talking to a fellow social worker who thinks the way you do and gets the jokes you get and understands the world the way you do. I have lovely people in my life, but it's not the same.